my small fro has refused to cooperate, so just bear with me in this video, okay? Guys, I've literally started filming right now and my whole family has decided to make an appearance, and so if you hear background music or background noise, just know they ruined it. They ruined it. I was going to film this video in peace, but now I feel like I'm not gonna be in peace filming this video because there's so much going on in the house. Hi guys, welcome back to another banging video. It is your girl Alice Ganji, and thank you so much for clicking on this video, and being on this channel. It means the world to me. It's been a long while since I did a sit down video. Most of the videos that I've been posting, I've either not been consistent in posting or it's been vlogs. So today we're just gonna sit down. Today we're gonna relax. As you can see, even my afro is out. So yeah, let's get into the video. As you can tell from the title of the video, today I'm just telling you I'm gonna give you my personal experience of how I've been staying sane in quarantine, how this whole time, I know a lot's been going on in the world, so just how I have been coping and all that jazz, because I know it's been difficult for some people. I know for some people mentally, physically, it's just been if 2020 is draining for you in some aspects, then there's a problem, because as much as you're happy, or rather let me speak for myself, as much as I'm happy with some things that have happened this year, amazing, I did proclaim that this year was going to be my year. So some things that have taken place this year, I'm honestly grateful. A lot of blessings have come my way this year, but then again, a lot of things have taken a toll on me sometimes. I'm only human. I can't be happy 24/7, and that's what we're gonna dive into today. That's the video for today. So today's video, I'm just telling you how I've been staying sane in quarantine. I hope you guys also are staying safe. Your family has not been affected by COVID. I know some people have lost loved ones, and I'm sorry to you if you're among the people who've been affected by the virus in a way that you've lost family members, or you've lost your job, or you've lost something of significance to you. Very sorry about that. You really did not need to go through that, but guys, as long as you're alive in this year, I think you've just made it. There's so much going on, and you just being alive in itself is a blessing. So I'm just gonna tell you a few things that I've been doing to keep myself sane in quarantine. You can have a takeaway from this video. You can feel free to learn something here or take up something, one or two things. If not, by all means, then just watch the video, because you just like hearing me speak. I think I'm gonna wear my glasses for this video because it's a serious video, so let's just wear my glasses so that you can ingest the content. By the way, guys, two things. One, I can't believe you reached this far into the video watching me rant for this long and you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel. Does that sit right with your soul? It doesn't sit right with mine either. So make sure you subscribe to my channel before you proceed with this video, and make sure you check out my new I don't even think I can call it new anymore. We're in episode 5. Make sure you check out my podcast that I host with my very, very good friend Alexia Musau. We have an amazing podcast. It's called Banter Over Brunch. So you guys should absolutely check it out. It's an amazing podcast. We give advisory content. We just give an interpretation of life the way we see it from our perspective, and we do topics such as friendships, relationships, body image. We've already done body image. Next week we're dropping a video on relationships. So that should tell you that if you listen to podcasts, ours is the podcast you should listen to. So make sure you check out Banter Over Brunch. So here are the things that I normally do to keep myself sane in these tragic times. The first thing that I would advise you guys is to keep in contact with your friends, because as much as you're going through something, your friends are going through something as well. The world literally does not revolve around you. Friends will always be a big part of your life, friends and family, and so you will eventually need a shoulder to lean on, and you'll eventually need someone to talk to, because you're only human. It's only human for you to want to do these things. And so keeping contact with your friends, even if you're not seeing them in quarantine, is so important, because it maintains the friendship, one, and two, you're able to breathe. Your friends know more about you than you know about yourself in some aspects. So if you're going through something, even if you don't tell your friend will be able to tell you, no, you're going through something, what's going on with you, what's up. And talking about a problem is a problem half solved. So keeping contact with your friends is so important, and I really do strive to keep in contact with all my friends, or rather people I consider my friends. You can't consider everyone your friends, now don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about acquaintances. I decided this time in quarantine I was letting go of the friends that were not beneficial to me, not beneficial, but I didn't feel like it was mutual, and I decided to keep my circle of friends as close to me as I can. And even if you're not talking every day, just make time for your friend. You never know, because like, how many people have died this year? Tomorrow is not promised. So I always make sure I'm keeping contact with my friends. I'm checking up on them, they're checking up on me, and that way the friendship is very transactional, because the relationships in general are very transactional. So the relationship remains transactional. I know what's going on in their lives, they know what's going on in my life. We can have some tea, we can share some juicy stuff, and yeah, it's very important to have that, to maintain that relationship that you had with your friends prior the coronavirus. Even if you're having a huge mental, I don't know, I can't speak for that capacity, but if you're having a mental health problems and if you're finding it hard, you're going through a hard time, imagine there's nothing under the sun that is new, and so whatever you're going through, it's very likely that other people have gone through it too as well. Guys, I cannot emphasize how speaking about your problems to people who you care about and care about you is literally a problem half solved. Okay, even if it's not immediate, it really does change everything. So keeping contact with my friends is one of the things that I'm going to keep saying in quarantine. Get with it. The second thing that I have been consistently doing, especially since I got this beautiful camera that I'm filming this video from, is creating content. Now, as much as I missed just 1 week of YouTube, and I feel like I've missed a century, even so, I don't even know, I'm talking like I've missed such a huge part of YouTube, but creating content has kept me sane, and creating content that fulfills me, because I remember before I was creating content like, shit, I've not released a video this week. What's it going to be about? I'm struggling. I don't know what my content is going to be. But as I progress, and as I let go, and as I just immersed myself fully, and I reflected on what type of content I want to create, the process has become so seamless. The content has become more wholesome, the process has become more enjoyable. God, I don't know what I've been doing for the past 2 years trying to create content that I don't resonate with. I absolutely can't even explain to you guys how creating content right now has become more about what I like to produce, if it makes me happy, more than what the reception I'm receiving. I mean, it's amazing to see, you know, if my YouTube videos go far, if the podcast is doing amazing, by the way. Thank you guys who listen to the podcast. Get to it, get on it. But you know, even if we don't get attention on the podcast, even if I don't get the attention on YouTube, yes, I'll feel some type of way, but I'm so happy with the content I'm creating right now, and I think even people are relating more with my content because I'm comfortable with the content itself. So it's been such a fulfilling process creating YouTube content, creating the podcast content on Instagram, as in, wow, content for my job, because I also have a job. I'm doing an internship, creating content for them as well. Like, my whole life these days revolves around content creation, and I love it, even if it does not pay me. Please, can we just watch the videos to the end so that I can anyway. So I think the takeaway you can get from this is just embrace what you love to do, and make sure you do what you love to do, because if whatever you're doing on a daily basis is depressing you, you're just not feeling good enough, well, not good enough, but you're not feeling like it's making you content, even if people are receiving it or people are not receiving it, you're not comfortable, you're just feeling like, today I'm not in the mood of filming, today I'm not in the mood of coding, and you're constantly not in the mood, then it's time to change and discover what you want to do, baby girl, baby boy. It's time for you to find out what you like to do, and I promise you, it's worth the journey. The journey for me to discover the type of content that I like creating has been so long, and I'm still not even close to being done. But I think I'm okay, and I'm getting to that, and quarantine has been good to me. It's given me time to reflect on what I want to do, because I've really gone through the emotions. I've gone through my laziness phase, my low phase. I've gone through my working myself to like I'm overworking myself. I've gone through that overworking myself phase, and then I'm now in the comfortable space, because it was necessary for me to go through the overworking space, because, well, it got me to where I am now. So. But yeah, I'm grateful. So creating content has been life-saving for me. Another thing that has helped me, guys, I got this advice from a podcast I listened to, shameless plug, because this is not sponsored or anything. I really like the Mics Are Open podcast, and it's a Kenyan podcast, but I think everyone can listen to it. It's an amazing podcast. So the Mics Are Open podcast, G Money, who was one of the main hosts there, says that advised me to try yoga. I felt like he was advising me. I was going through something and it felt like the advice was going to me, so I'm just gonna say Jimani advised me. He advised me to try out yoga, and wow, guys, not being able to go to the gym has, that part of my physical health has been suffering tremendously, but yoga is very fulfilling. It's very free, and I think everyone should just try yoga. You normally hear it and you think, try it. It just resets your mind and gets you ready for your day, or gets you relaxed for after in the evening. I just think it's just very get into it. Another crucial thing that I have been doing is taking care of my mental health, because I never want to get to a point where I'm really struggling with my mental health, because I have friends who have struggled with their mental health and keeping up with it, and I've never got to a point. I have once where I almost slipped into depression, just almost, like I was but very quickly, a ray of sunshine came into my life, and we flourished and came out of that mind space that I never want to even sniff the direction of ever again. And so, again, checking on myself mentally, and I do this by, hear me out, okay, I have a thing for podcast and speaking. So to keep myself in check, instead of writing a journal, I have a podcast for myself where it's just in my private documents. I'm not even going to tell you where it is. And I call it Cast, and it's where I just speak out my mind, what I'm going through, the emotions I'm going through, if it's good, if it's bad, if it's, checking on my mental, like like, for example, I'll say something like, hi Kanji, it's like Kanji Cast is a podcast dedicated to the future me. So what I normally say is something like, hi Kanji, today was not your best day mentally, or this person hurt you in this way and it made you feel like this, and the way I'm going to address it is I'm going to do this, I'm going to try to do this, or I tried to do this, it didn't work out, so I don't know what to do. And when I look back, it's been the best thing I've ever done, because I started Kanji casting like early March, and I was in the pits. But when I look back right now, where I am right now, in a happy space, well, most of it, and I look back to some of the problems that I was facing then, wow, it's just like I really overcame that, and that makes you feel like 10 billion times better. And I never really understood the significance of journaling, but once I started doing it in podcast form, I'm telling you guys, try it. Just record one podcast episode for yourself, and it's not long, depending on how long. It's your podcast. I mean, come on, I'm not gonna tell you. Mine are normally until I feel like I should stop talking, which is like, it's less than 10 minutes. I can talk for like 10 hours and I won't tire. So I don't know, yours maybe 2 minutes or so. But just journaling your emotions on a regular basis will help your mental capacity, and will help you reflect on some things that some issues you faced, especially in future. Like, imagine if you've recorded like 10 episodes about difficult times you've gone through, and then you face yet the biggest obstacle in your life, and then you're able to reflect on some problems you had prior and that you thought was so significant, but you were able to overcome it, or you tell yourself how you managed to overcome that situation. It really would help you overcome any bigger situation that comes into your life. But not just the negatives, I also record the positives, like, oh my gosh, you got this opportunity, so that when I'm feeling low, I can remind myself of how it felt to be happy, how it felt to be in our headspace. That's amazing. So I honestly advocate journaling for everybody. 10 out of 10, top tier, 100% would recommend journaling / self-podcasting, or whatever, however way you would like to journal yourself. I think it's a very helpful process. That just came right now. That's not even what I meant by feeding the mind. What I did mean, however, by feeding the mind was I've educated myself on so many things in quarantine than I ever have when I didn't during my free times, because my free times used to be, drinking with friends, stand up 24/7, 365, but now my free time has to be occupied with other things, because one, I'm under my parents' house, two, I'm in quarantine. So in my parents' house quarantine, where am I meeting my friends and where's the drinks coming from? Are you understanding the dilemma? So I had to occupy my time with other things, and of course I went through the whole, oh my gosh, all the series I can find on Netflix. I watched all of them. I felt like I exhausted the whole internet. I'm done. So to fill my mind with more healthier things, because you are what you consume, believe it or not. So what I do is, well, I've always done this, honestly. I know I've talked about podcasts a lot in this episode, but guys, they're so awesome. So I listen to a lot of podcasts, different type of podcasts. So I know I even have a podcast schedule. How shady. So I know maybe a podcast is dropping on Monday, so I listen to that podcast on Monday. I know specific podcasts drop on Friday, including mine. I'm just saying. So I know on Fridays, I have these podcasts to listen to. On Thursdays, I know a podcast that drops. And the days I'm not listening to a podcast, I'm listening to an audiobook. So, and it's always different types of podcasts. So sometimes on Fridays, it's like a more fun type of podcast. Mondays are like world issues. So that, sometimes from a perspective of someone who's not going through those issues, you can't really see. You become a bit ignorant to some of these world issues. So, podcasts on climate, podcasts on what's happening today, Black Lives Matter movements, and, how America is just... I fear for you if you... I'm praying for you. Not fear for you, I'm praying for you if you're in America. And just things that are happening around the world, documentaries, just educational but fun things. That's how I know I'm becoming old. Like, educational things are fun to me. I write articles. By the way, if you didn't know, I write articles as well. But that's on my business side. I write articles and read them as well. So you'll find me reading like on Medium. I know. Who would have thought I'd get to an age and a point in my life where these things are what I find interesting. But I'm grateful for this, because it has made me realize that these are things that I'm actually interested in. And the things I'm feeding my mind are genuinely translating to the person that I am, because that's just how the world works. Whatever you consume is whatever you are. So feed your mind with healthy things, things that will help you mentally, things that will support you and not wash your mind and make you feel like the world is a specific way that it's not, because it's not all flowers and daisies and roses. But we all do this. But it's good to educate yourself on some things, because you never know. That's just how I see it. That's just how I see it. I don't know how you see it. That's just how I see it. Another thing that's very crucial, guys, is you just need to take days off, okay? You need some time off. There are days when I overwork myself, because I normally have a schedule, especially now that I'm back in school. My school, we are going on like everything's normal. I love it. I'd rather do Zoom University until I graduate. I'm just saying, but... with the school schedule and content creation schedule, and putting time for podcasts and putting time for reading articles and putting time for listening to audiobooks, because wow, guys, some books, I might do a video recommending for you some books, because wow, can you imagine? I'm becoming that person. If you literally look at my content from when I began in 2018 and right now, what I'm telling you, it's even blowing my mind as well. This is why I like creating content, because it's genuinely a portfolio of my life, and I get to reflect. I get to reflect on something. I'm like, wow, you really were thinking like that at this time, and I get to have my family and their children and their children's children to watch, me and my thoughts. And in future, when I look back, I'll be like, wow, that was me. That's my reason for doing content creation. I just like having a portfolio of my life, and sharing it to people is just a way of accountability. So, but I love you guys either. yeah, so taking some days off, especially when I was in my craze of, constantly working and wanting to prove, by the way, you need to take, there's these people with the hustle culture, the culture that a lot of entrepreneurs and traders normally have. It's a good culture to have because it keeps you on your toes, but then again, you forget that you're a human being and want to act like a robot. So sometimes, let me just fix you a bit. Sometimes I just needed to, I realized that I need to take some time off because you know how crazy it looks. To my parents, it looks like I do nothing the whole day because all the work that I do, content creation and applying for my jobs and literally everything I do is on the internet. And so I'm in my room 24/7. So to my parents, I have a problem, I'm not working. And then all of a sudden I told them that I have an internship. They were like, from where? I'm like, baby girl, you don't know I'm up from 8 a.m. to like 2 a.m. Like that was me on a daily basis. Okay, though. So mom, if you ever get to watch this video, please stop complaining that I'm always in my room. Okay, I'm always working in my room. Okay, I'm not sleeping 24/7. But there are days that I do take off. So some days I just say, you know what? When you set your mindset or you're constantly working, even the days off, you feel the need to work. I don't know why, it's just a thing. So what I do is I say today, for real, it's off, like it's off. I set an alarm for 11. I'll wake up at 9, but I'll still set the alarm either way late, and I'll just binge watch shows. But I binge watch Spanish shows because I'm trying to learn the language. So even though I'm not working, I'm probably working. So I do watch a lot of Spanish shows and a lot of Spanish playlists because tratando enseñarme español porque me encanta la idioma. It's a beautiful language, so I'm really just trying to learn the language. I can't even believe I said that sentence. Almost really like that. Wow. So taking days off are important. You need to just remind yourself that you're human. Just to remind yourself, those are the days you check on your friends. Like I mentioned, those are the days you check on yourself. You record your podcast. Those are the days you just do the things that you love to do, except work. Even if you love doing your work, you can, I guess, but I just prefer to take the whole day off if it's a day off because I literally have a habit of overworking myself. And the last advice I'd have for you is that if you live in a toxic space or if you feel like you need days off from the people that you're living with, because it's normal, okay? You may love your people, but sometimes, we go through it too. So what I do is sometimes I just feel overwhelmed by this house. Sometimes I just feel like people in this house are just loud and my head is going to burst. And sometimes, like I said, I'm in my room 24/7 because my house is structured in a way where if someone is in the sitting room, then the whole of downstairs is occupied, because if they're watching TV, then I'm not trying to watch TV with them in the dining, and then upstairs it's just a mess. So I'm just always in my room, and sometimes I just need a break. So what I do is I leave home because I live with my parents right now. So I leave home. I just leave. And then I go to my sister's house. Thank God I have sisters, 2 of them, and they both moved out. So once in a while, I go to my sister's house and I stay over there. And by the time I come back, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm ready to deal with this right now. Okay, now I can deal with what you guys were making me deal with. So yeah, it's just very important to, as much as you can work and find your passions and create content, well, for me, and keeping while you're doing all this to keep yourself sane in quarantine and everything, also remember that you're only human and it's okay for you to take time off. It's okay for you to go on vacation, go on staycation. I'm seeing a lot of traveling is way cheaper this year, so this is the time to go, sweetie. It's the time. If you have the funds, I would just highly suggest this is the time to travel to wherever you want to travel to, of course, safely. And yeah, just live your best life. Honestly, have a good balance between your personal life and your work life, so that you're not overwhelmingly doing one over the other, and those are my tips of how I'm staying sane in quarantine. It's working for me. It's working perfectly. I'm getting used to the new normal, even though we're almost getting out of the new normal. Hopefully, I'm just proclaiming it. And I really hope you get to have an easier time than you have had in the past. And I'm very sorry that if you've lost someone, I'm very sorry that you've gone through that. If you've lost your job or anything, I hope you found coping mechanisms and you're trudging on and you're not feeling like giving up on life and you're checking up on people, because honestly people are going through a lot. This is the time to check on your friends and your family. So check on the people that need you and appreciate the people, the ones that love you, that are there for you, and be there for others as much as you want to be people to be there for you. Other than that, guys, the serious talk is done. Thanks so much for reaching the end of this video. I know this has been a long video, but I believe that the content is wholesome and you've taken away a thing or two. And tell me if you want more advisory content on this channel. Even if you don't want it, I'm gonna give it, period. But it would be nice to know if you want it though. So yeah, guys, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for watching this one. But where are you going, sir? I'm seeing you're about to press the button. I'm talking to you, madam. I'm talking to you. Can't you see? There are videos on your screen. I know you can see. There are previous videos of mine that you have not watched on the screen, so you might as well go. The subscribe is down here. I know you can see it. I know it's down here. Just subscribe as well and watch those videos. Then you can leave. This is Kanji signing out. Peace.